now that we understand our transaction type for the TX, right, and the signed transaction, and eventually we need to store that on disk. We'll get to all that. Like I told you before, earlier, is that we're going to have this little accounting database too. We've got the address, the balance, and I've kind of hinted that we're going to also need to keep that nonce so we know what the next transaction is supposed to be. So let's just lay in those data structures that we need just to be able to maintain that accounting database. All right, so if I go back to the original project here, we're going to see these lines here that define an account type. I put it above the account ID in this case, but this is what's going to represent every single account that we have in the system that we need to maintain. We need to know their address, that's the account ID. We need to know nonce, we need to know what the next nonce is supposed to be, or really the last nonce that was used. And then their current balance. And this is something we're going to maintain in memory over time for every account. And you can see I've got a nice little unexported factory function that will construct a new account when we don't have one. All right, so with this kind of in place, what we can now do is think about this bigger picture, right? I've got this package called database, and the idea of the database package is to manage everything. The accounting database that we need to build around these types, and then everything that's kind of being stored, let's say in storage on a block perspective. We need to have that, and if we can get our little, say, database package managing all of this state, then we can actually get into main and start to bring this up, and even to start to see some of this information that we're storing. So here's our account type, new account. This is great. We've got this. The next step is to now jump into the database code itself, database.go. We have a little bit of that there, and start to construct a database with at least the accounts. Get that up. Be able to read Genesis, right, and see if we can see what the accounting is on a startup. That would be kind of super cool, right, and a good first place to be at.